Taking your calls tonight as we reflect on England's performance last night. Are we a bit harsh on Gareth Southgate? We've seen France win 1-0 tonight against Austria. A bit of a poor performance in Belgium, get beat by Slovakia early on in the day, and Ukraine get beat 3-0 by Romania.
They were terrible,
Ukraine. Awful.
Romania,
Ukraine.
by the way, I've got to tell you, they are exactly what I want to see from England. Well organised, disciplined, everyone knew their job. That is the performance. If we can get close to that, not saying Romania level, but would not want to play them, mate. They look superb all over the pitch.
Yeah, they did look good. You can have your say on all of that. 03717 22 33 44. We've also been talking about Cundy patching himself up for the last 35 years. So if you ever patched yourself up, not gone to the doctors, let us know. But let's go to Tony, who's a Chelsea fan. All right, Tone?
All right, Tone.
You're right, fellas. How's it going?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Tone. Up, Chelsea.
All good. I'm all good. First of all, rest in peace, old Kevin Campbell.
Indeed.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, legend, man.
No, so going back to that, I think that's a bit of a loser's negative attitude to say, oh, well, France didn't do well, so does it matter that England didn't do that well? That's a loser's mentality. We shouldn't give a crap if what they do, or Belgium. We should worry about purely what we do. And for me, there's three problems which is causing the best player in the league, in the Premier League, not to play well, and that's Phil Foden, is Kieran Trippier, Gareth Southgate, and Harry Kane. And the problem for me is Kieran Trippier ain't even good enough to be the right back, let alone the left back. And Harry Kane, he keeps dropping into that pocket where Phil Foden likes to go into as well. And the problem is they're both on top of each other's toes. And I don't know if you see it in the England game. There was half a dozen crosses that come in, and every time they come in, Foden went at the back post. He was in exactly the same place as Harry Kane in the centre of the box.
Yeah, I know. I do agree with that. But he's not left winger, Foden.
No, listen, I don't blame Foden because I think he's a little bit in limbo. He's like, well, I'm meant to be wide, but I'm drifting in centrally. I think he's got a bit of a role. But I think Gareth Southgate, look at who's left back, Aki, Guavadal. They bomb past Foden and they open that space up for him to just do his business. Yeah.
The problem you've got now is, look, Phil Foden, the way he has to play, the game's changed. I remember he used to play, you used to have Ryan Giggs and players like Gareth Bale, and the game's different now. You have. That's why left footers play on the right and right footers play on the left, because the way they take the ball inside and they play little 1-2s in and around the boxes to create space. Foden out on the left, he's just taking the ball on the outside of his foot all the time. It's not natural for him to play in that role, and I just thought it was such a waste. And look, we had this conversation last night. I think Foden's going to have to get dropped, and that's unbelievable. We have to have that conversation, but he's going to have to be left out of the team.
If you're Cole Palmer and Eze and stuff like that, and you've seen him perform like that, and he don't get subbed off, if you're on the bench, you must be getting annoyed, going, well, hang on, if he ain't doing the business, why are we not even having a look in?
Yeah, I think that left is a problem. So, okay, so what Southgate's trying to do, he's trying to get Bellingham and Foden in the same team. That's what he's trying to do. And clearly, parts of it last night simply didn't work. So he's now got to come up with a formula to get the best out of the England team. And Southgate then told Harry to stay higher. Harry didn't drop as many times into those areas as he has done. Against Iceland, he was picking the ball off up our centre-halves. He was dropping beyond our midfield. He didn't do that last night. And I felt that there was a part of Harry's game that was taken away from him. He had to stay high for the team, which allowed more space, in theory, for Foden and Bellingham to operate in the 10 position. Part of it worked, part of it did. But the question here is to you. What do you do with Foden, Tony?
Drop him.
Okay, fine. Who would you play?
Let's learn from look at the last golden generation. Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
All individual
similar. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
And the problem is it didn't work. So learn from that,
So you drop him and who? So go on, give me your team. Give me your team to start on that left-hand side.
Who would start left-hand side for me? It would be Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Gordon
Who's behind him?
What, a left back?
Yeah, because that's another problem he's got, Southgate.
Personally, I think he messed up not taking someone like Lewis Hall or even Mitchell. I mean, I know they're not the best, but a natural left footer that can overlap you and give that inside man a bit.
I think what he's doing, Southgate, is that it's all well and good taking a left footer now, right? But I think this is a theory that is possibly going to come true. Is that we're good enough to get out the groups. Right?
Yes.
We're going to get out the group.
Yeah.
So by the time we get out the group, all of a sudden Shaw becomes available. So it's almost like, yes, I know it's going to be difficult. Yes, it's going to be tough. But Trippier is good enough to do a job and the opposition aren't good enough to beat us. So we're going to get out the group and I need to find a way and a formula to get that left-hand side of the front three sorted. He's got that now. So let's assume for the sake of this conversation that Shaw is now available in the last 16 group. Last knockout stage.
Yeah, he starts.
Right? He starts, right? Let's say for the sake of this conversation, we beat Denmark, we do whatever we need to do against Slovenia, we do all of that, right? We get through. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, left-hand side of the three up top, that, and alongside Rice, there that become almost... If he doesn't get those right, then the chances are we're not going to progress.
Why is my question for that as well? If you're struggling in left back position, why is Southgate not actually gone? Do you know what? I'm putting round pegs and square holes here. Why am I not putting three at the back then? I've got decent centre backs.
Now you're changing everything.
He's changing his whole setup.
Tony, it's a tournament. You've got a maximum of games you're going to play. He's got his formation. He ain't changing that. It's 4-2-3-1. You got to suck that up. That ain't changing. That conversation should have been taken place 6 months ago, and I'm pretty sure no one knew it was going to Luke Shaw. No one knew this was going to happen. He's found himself, Southgate, in a quandary. Do I change the whole of the back line because of Luke Shaw? That to me is not the right answer. You go with the 4, you go with the 2, get the one right next to Rice. You know Bellingham's going to start. You know Saka's starting. You know Kane's starting. You know Rice is starting. The other 2 positions, left of the 3, once the Shaw goes in there, get that sorted out alongside Rice. If he gets that right, we have got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, thanks for your call. Just a bit of breaking news here. French Federation have confirmed that Kylian Mbappe has broken his nose. He will undergo surgery in Dusseldorf ahead of their second game against Holland on Friday, 8 p.m, live on talkSPORT. So it didn't look great, and it's been confirmed, and it's going to be a tough one for him to take.
He's not doing it himself, is he?
No, he's definitely not going to patch himself up.
Let's do his own. But I mean, in a serious matter, when we're talking about Mbappe now, Deschamps knows that victory has gotten through to the knockout stage, right? So he can almost now...
Huh? They've got to play Holland.
Yeah, but that victory takes them out the knockout stage, right? Then they're now 16. They want to top the group, of course they do.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to rush him back now. So he'll probably miss the next 2 games. Next time you'll see Mbappe is last 16.
You think?
Well, why would you rush him back? He's going for surgery. He's going
under... surgery on your nose, which can be fixed pretty quickly.
But they've got 2 games in less than a week now. Less than a week.
I know, but your nose can get sorted pretty... It's going to hurt, but you can put one of them mask things on, can't he?
I'll be stuck.
Carbon fibre
He's not starting the next game, is he? He's not, is he?
He's not going to start against Holland.
Right, he's not starting next game, right? So if they win that or draw, they're through. Why would you risk it? Why would he risk it then? So now
Mbappe's going to want to play.
I know he wants to play, but he's got a broken nose.
Yeah, so?
Got broken snoz.
You're talking about, like, you used to play with stitches and, you know, like, he's going to play. If he wants to play, Didier Deschamps will put him in the side.
Of course he will.
You need a week off. Broken nose.
He's under surgery.
He's going
under general anaesthetic.
Come on, mate.
The boy's getting
week off.
Mate, he's going
to get your nose. You know, you get your nose done. Come on, you're back out in Beach in a week later.
Honestly,
come on, couple of the eyes. You know, you're a bit puffy under the eyes. You'll be fine,
mate. He's out. There's no point in rush. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that he now doesn't need to come back until the last 16. If Luke Shaw can come back in the last. Let's say he gets half a game or an hour.
He needs an hour. He needs an hour,
right? Let's say
he needs to win the next game against Denmark, and then we could give him 60 minutes and let him just have whatever game he has.
Right. And that solves a huge problem. Potentially.
Yeah, it does. It's a massive problem. We need Luke Shaw back in the team. Really do. Let's go to Mick, who's an Arsenal fan. Right, Mick?
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
All right, Mick.
Just like to say, it's a wonderful show again, boys.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, thanks, Mick. You're trying our best.
And before I tell you my story, I just want to say about Kevin Campbell. We're really sad to hear about it. And listening to the talkSPORT and Perry and that talking about him, it was really quite touched. I met him once when he was playing for Nottingham Forest. I was living in Nottingham at the time, and he was sitting in a bar, and I just was outside, and I just walked past him. I thought, hang on a minute, I know that boy. And I just had a chat to him, and he was a really nice geezer. He signed a napkin for me, and I've still got that napkin. I've still got that all these years later.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you my story. What it is about my old man, and my old man was old school Irishman. Yeah, he was only a little fella, hard as nails.
Yeah.
And he was fixing a kitchen step, step down into the kitchen. And it had been broken, so he was like putting a replacement piece in. And he was sawing it. Now, it was summertime, and he's wearing sandals.
And he's got a saw in his hand.
Sawing away. I was sitting in the back room because we weren't allowed to go in the front room. My mum banned us. So I was watching the cricket on a little black and white telly. And I just heard this, and I looked round, and there was hara everywhere. The old man had sawn halfway through his big toe.
Oh.
So if that had happened to me, I'd have fainted. My dad opened up his toolkit, got some insulation tape, wrapped his toe,
No, he didn't.
He did, I swear to God. He finished what he was doing, and then...
He finished the job?
He finished the job? Come on.
Yeah, and he finished the job. Now, my old man was hard as rocks, mate. Old school. I wasn't blew up, mate. I was dragged up. I tell you. You know what I mean?
That's unbelievable.
I just... Yeah, no. If I get a splinter, I'm crying. But when you're faced with that sort of like masculinity, you're just lost. You are just lost. But it was just something that.
Hold on. He went to hospital though. Tell me he went to hospital. We didn't leave it with like a little bit.
Oh no, we went to the hospital. We drove to the hospital, and we got there, and like because I was sitting outside, and he just went in there, and I don't know what the doctor must have said to him, with an insulation tape. And they stitched his toe, but it was never the same because he cut through nerves and everything. But it didn't bother him at all. It didn't bother him at all. He was as hard as come from Tulsa near Brixton.
Not the brightest tool in the box, though, was he? Sawing away with some sandals on.
Yeah,
might have been hard.
Well, the thing was, he was an engineer, and everything was really fine. But
what do you mean? He wasn't a good engineer then, was he? If he's sawed his foot off.
No. At his job, he worked for the RAF, and his job, he was brilliant at it. But our house was the house that Mick. His name was Mick. Yeah, the house that Mick basically destroyed it. There's all bits that are propped and insulation tape holding things together and coat hangers hanging out the back of tellies and things like that. So
Right.
It's like dentists with bad teeth and barbers with no hair.
Jeez.
That's how it is. And my mum just tolerated that for donkey's years. But he was as tough as old boots.
Sounds like it, yeah. Tell him to put some boots on.
Saw his toes off and he carried on. The job's more important. But gaffer tape around his
gaffer tape. What's a good tape? Is it gorilla tape?
Gorilla tape? Yeah. Is it duct tape?
Duct tape, yeah, but there's like proper good tape now, isn't there?
I think if you're getting gorilla tape, I think it's going nowhere. You might have an infection about 3 days later, it's going nowhere.
Get some gorilla tape round the old toe. Sort that out. That'll do for a couple of days.
Can't put gorilla tape round your toe.
All right, keep your calls coming in. You want your patch-up jobs, and we'll talk about France and England. We're a bit harsh on Southgate. 03 717 22 33
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.